Welcome back to Jodella Fashion Guide. Today's video is a continuation of our previous video where we learned how to draft and how to cut a peplum blouse. We made use of this lining. So in today's video, I'm going to be learning how to sew it. So before we do that, I'll just show you, this is the lining for today's tutorials, and we'll be using this as our fabric. So I've cut the peplum. This is what we are using for the main fabric for the peplum, and then this is the front piece of the lining, and we'll be using this. We'll be using this as our main fabric for the purpose of this class. And then this is the back piece. This is the back piece. This is the back piece. We'll be using this as the back piece of our illustration. So I'm going to be starting with the peplum. Remember that the measurements, these are the measurements we are working with. We are working with a bust, a shoulder of 7, bust 15, waist 12, nipple to nipple 4, armhole depth of 4 inches. This is what we worked with. And then I had to add to the peplum so that to be able to do the pleats very well. So I've added about 5 inches to the peplum, and I've joined it together. So to sew the flare, you take your fabric, you take the main fabric and the lining, you put them together, front side facing each other. This is the front side of the lining because my joining is here. This is the front side of the fabric. This is the back side. So you put it like this, mash the two together, front side facing each other. And then remember that our sewing allowance that we used that was 0.25, which is a quarter, and that is what I'm going to be using to sew. So I'm going to sew from here. I'm going to sew it to the other end of the peplum. After sewing the down part, I will join the side, the zipper allowance side. I'll also join it with 0.25 inches. I'll also join here with 0.25 inches. Okay, so we go down to the sewing, then I'll come. Sew down the two corners, this side, this side, the two sides. Sorry. So I finished sewing the side, the two sides. The next thing, this curved part, you notch it so that when you turn it, it can relax when you iron it. So you notch it. Make sure you don't cut through your seam. Just notch it around notch it round. Just notch it at intervals. Just notch it round, and then we turn it. Use the seam ripper to bring this out. Bring the corner out. So you take it to the iron. Take it to the ironing board, give it a good press, and then you trim out the excesses. I'll come back to show you what it looks like. So this is the outcome of the peplum. So the peplum is ready. You go ahead to sew. So let's start with the back bodies. So for the back bodies, this is the lining for the back bodies. And this is the main fabric for the back bodies. So what you do is to sew along here. Remember, we cut it like this. So we are going to sew here. We'll sew here. We'll sew here. We'll also sew here along the dart to the armhole curve. We'll sew it. So I'll quickly do that now. I'll come back and show you. So we'll sew the line. Sew this. Trim off any excess thread. Here's what you have. This is the second part. This is the main fabric of the back piece. So I'm now sewing the second part of the back piece. So we are through with the second part of the back piece. If it were to be an inseam, we sew all the lining first. We sew all the lining together as one piece. We sew the front side as one, the main fabric as one piece, before we now use the lining to turn the main fabric. So let me go ahead and sew the front bodies and show you what it all looks like. So we have sewn the lining together. This is what we have. And this is the main fabric. I've sewn one part. Now I'm coming to sew the second part. Put it together like this. And then sew. It's the same allowance I give, 0.25 seam allowance. You can make use of half-inch seam allowance. Remember to backstitch when you are sewing. This fabric I'm using is very delicate, so and it's small, so that is how I'm backstitch. Make sure you backstitch. So this is what we have for the front parts. This is the lining on the front. We are going to be using the lining to turn this. Okay. First of all, we'll go and iron it and press it. This is the back piece. This is the front part. This is the zipper part. This is the zipper allowance. This is the lining. This is the zipper allowance. We have joined. So before we do the next thing, we'll go and iron it so that it can come out well. Now, if you are going to do an inseam, we'll join the front and the back together. You put it right side facing each other. You join the shoulder line. For example, I'm using 0.25. You use 0.5. You join the shoulder lines. Then you take the measurement to make sure that the bust and the waist, that they are okay. Then you now sew with the allowance that you have given. For example, I gave it 0.25 allowance, so I just sew the side 0.5, 0.25. Then you do the same to the main fabric. That is if you are sewing an inseam. The main fabric, right side facing the shoulder, join shoulder to shoulder. You join the sides, and then you now open here. You now have a one piece. Now have a one piece of this, and then you now use the lining to turn the main fabric. Okay, so let's go iron first, and then we'll show you the next step. Welcome back. We have ironed it. This is the front piece. This is the lining on the front piece, and this is the back piece. And there are two. Let's so prepare the middle, and this is the lining. So for the sake of the beginners, we are going to be turning them one after the other. If it was to be inseam, like I said before, we'll go ahead and join this. We join the shoulder, we join the side, then we join the shoulder here, we also join the side. It will now be one piece. For example, let me show you the pins, how it will look like if you were to be inseam. Join the shoulder, also sew the shoulder, and the sides with the allowance that you have given. So you now have one piece like this. You have one piece like this. Then you do the same for the front part. For the main fabric, right side facing the shoulder. You join the shoulder. This is the shoulder. You join the shoulder. I'm just going to use pin to explain that. You also join the shoulder, and then the side with your sewing allowance, because we've already taken the correct measurements. You can measure again to be double sure before sewing, because once you have finished turning everything, it's difficult to make corrections. So make sure you are sewing accurately. Confirm your measurement before you use the lining to turn it. So we have one piece like this. We have one piece like this for the main fabric and also for the lining. So if we're doing an inseam, we put both of them together. Put both of them together. and sew. Just sew round and sew round and sew round the neckline. You see, this is the opening in the front. So you match it together. If it is an inseam, you match it together. You sew all the way to this side. You also sew the armhole. The armhole are together. Put both of them together. You sew it. You sew the armhole. You also sew this armhole. Then when you are through, you turn it from this down part, because that is the part you are going to be joining to the peplum. So you now turn it inside out. Okay. But for this class, a beginner's class, we are going to be doing the front and the back separately, because it's a beginner's class. So that those that are just learning and beginners, so that they can understand. So I'm not going to be doing an inseam. I'll use this front lining to turn the male fabric, right side facing the shoulder. I'll sew the neckline, the shoulder, and the armhole. Neckline, shoulder, armhole, and the side, the two sides. Then I'll also use this. The back, I'll join them separately. The neckline, the shoulder, the armhole, and then I'll come back and show you what we have. Stay tuned. So we have sewn the neckline. This V part, you notch it so that you can turn it very well. And this part too. Turn it inside out. Let's see what it looks like. So this is what we have. It's looking beautiful already. And then for it to relax very well, you can go ahead and top stitch. Go ahead and top stitch this part. Top stitch the line. Spread it out like this. Top stitch. So top stitch to the other side. Finish top stitching. Any excess thread that you have, you cut it. Trim it off. Go and iron it. And give it a good press so that it can relax very well. This is what we have. So because it's a sleeveless peplum, I'm going to be joining the armhole. Before I do that, I'll recut it for it to have a nice shape. The armhole is 3.75, so I'll recut it. Okay, making sure that it's neat. So I'll turn it inside out like this. Okay, trim off the excess that we have here. Let's trim it. This is the right side facing the shoulder now. So you join the armhole and the side. We'll leave out the shoulder first. Join the armhole and the side, and I'll come back and show you. So we finished sewing the armhole. Let's turn it inside out. Let's see how it looks like before we join the side. Remember, it's a sleeveless peplum, so the armhole has to be neat. Can you see that? There's the armhole. Neat. You see that? So go ahead to join the side. Turn it inside out again. Join the side. Join the side. I'll show you what we have. Now so if you join one side, join the other side as well. Trim out any excesses. So let's see how it looks like. Trim out your trim. This thing is to iron it. See that we are done with the front bodies. So we'll go ahead to sew the back bodies. For the back, we are going to turn it one after the other. We start with the neckline. Start with the neckline, front side facing each other. Join the neckline. After sewing the neckline, you are going to sew along the zip line. You are going to be using the line to turn the zip line side with the sewing allowance. And then, so when we are done with the neck and the zipper allowance, I'll show you before we go to the armhole on the other side. So, sew the neckline and the zip line. This is what we have. So, you notch the corner. Then you notch around the neckline so that it can relax when you turn it. So if you turn it, this is what we have. This is the zipper side. Neckline, this is the shoulder. So you're going to sew the armhole now. The armhole on the side. You turn it in. You sew the armhole on the side to be like this. I'll sew the armhole on the side of the other part. So I'm going to do the same thing to this one. I'll turn it back inside, sew the armhole, and then the side. I'll show you what we have. So this is the front parts, the front bodies, and this is the back. So go ahead now to iron it, and then join the shoulders and the side, and then we'll be done with the upper bodies. So welcome back. Let me explain to you how to join the shoulders. It's supposed to be like this. Okay, so you take the front piece, the shoulder. This is the back piece of the left hand side, and this is also the left hand side of the front piece. So it's like this and then like this. So you take this front part and then you put it inside. You're going to put it inside here, inside the shoulder of the back. You take the front, you place it inside, and do it inside out. and then sew across. I'll quickly use this needle to show you. So let's see what it looks like. Can you see that? That is how to join the shoulder. So I'm going to be doing the second side. Because this is a small piece, that is why I have to use that needle nut. I can also use the machine. So take the front piece, put it inside the shoulder. Take the front shoulder, put it inside the back shoulder. Then turn it inside out, holding the two shoulders together now. So this is the other shoulder inside the shoulder, and then you sew. So let's sew and see. Not always tie the end of your thread. Working with a small piece. If you have a doll baby, so you put it inside out. So this is what we have. This is very neat. So now go ahead and join the side. This is the zipper side. You can use your pin to hold that in place so that you can sew, join these two sides together. Please remember to subscribe to my channel so that I can be getting more of these detailed videos, and so that I can be notified anytime I post a new video. Please share this video and like this video. So after pinning the zipper line in place, now go ahead and join the two sides with the same allowance that we have. So before you do that, just be double sure of your measurements. Measure your bust again, measure it again, make sure that it's correct and that you have enough allowance, that you have sewing allowance. Also measure the waist and that you have sewing allowance. Okay, so I'll join it and show you what we have so that we can join the peplum. One more thing, also measure your armhole. Remember that your armhole here, your armhole length will be 1 inch shorter than your usual armhole. So if your armhole was 10, because it is sleeveless, -1, that means you now make use of 9. Okay, just thought I should tell you that. So I finished joining the side, joining both sides together. So let me remove the pins and around so I can see what we have. This is not beautiful. You see the armhole, very neat, very neat. So the next thing now is to join our peplum. So trim off the rough edges. Okay, then notch the main part. Fold it into two like this. And notch the middle. Notches. So this is the peplum that I'm going to be attaching. you are going to be having plates, kissy plates on that line. So you're going to be having 4. 1 here, 1 here, here, 1 here. That is 4. So you take your peplum, fold it into 2, notch the midline, the middle, notch the middle part, so that we can have equal peplum around the waist. So you notch it. Okay. So let's see the excess that we have, so that we know how many we are going to fold the pleats. So measure what you have. On the upper bodies, I have a total, if you add the front and the back together with the zipper allowance, this is what I have, 12.75. Then I also check what I have here. This is 12.75. This is what is left. So that means I'll be able to do the pleats very well. So this one that is left, after you have removed the waist of the upper bodies, you check what you have left. I have 11 and a half left. So this 11 and a half, we're going to divide it into 4. Dividing it into 4. So that means one of our pleats should be 2.75. Okay. So having marked that, you already know that it's going to be 2.75. So you take the middle, match the 2 places that you notch, match them together. Okay. Remember that we're going to have a pleat here. We also have a pleat here. So match this zipper side together. Okay. So we know that we're going to use 2.75. So let me explain how to do the pleats. So first of all, check the excess that you have on one side. This is the middle part. Okay, then you check what you have, the excess. Remember, I've already calculated, but just this is another way of doing it. This is the excess. So you're going to have 2 pleats. So what would be the measurement of the pleat? Do you see it? 2.75. So this 2.75 for one plate, another 2.75 for the other plate. So this 2.75, because you are going to be making a kissy plate, this 2.75 will share it into 2 again. So one side will be let's say 1.25 or 1.23. Okay, 1.23. So this is how you do it. When you get to where you want to pleat, you mark it, then measure out the 2.75. Measure it out. I have it here. So from here to here is the first pleat. So I'll pin this here, this side. The side is going to be here. Let me use my pin to pin first. And then look at what is remaining on the other side. So we are going to make the second pleat. We are going to make the second pleat here. So mark where you are making the pleats. Mark it, then check what is left, the excess that is left. this is what is left. So the pleat is a kissy pleat. I'm going to be showing you how to do kissy pleats. Just this is the one we are pleating. I hope you have seen that. We are working on the back side. First of all, you fold like this with the measurement in mind, and then you bring this other side to join it. I'll show you on the other side what it looks like. This is what it will now look like. You see that you have a pleat. So this is what we have on this. After doing the pleats, by the time you measure it, you see what we have, and it's folded. This side is folded in there as well. So when you fold it in, you have the 2.75. Look at the other one. You also fold it in, you have the 2.75. And when you look at the front side, you see that the pleat is there. See that the pleat is there. So let's do the other half. So let me use this other side to explain what I've done. Pin out the zipper line. We are having two pleats, and the pleat is 2.75 wide. This is the side joining. This is where the first pleat will be, and this is where the second pleat will be. So mark that point where the pleat is going to be. Mark it on the peplum. Then from this place that you have marked, measure out the 2.75 that you are going to be pleating. Measure it out. 2.75. I have it here. So when you sew, make sure you don't have any loose end like this. I'm going to join that before it pleats. So from this mid part, this is where the other pleat is going to be. I'll first of all mark it. Then I measure out the length of the pleat. Measure it out. Mark it. And then you make the pleat. This is the first half of the pleat. Then you bring this side in, making sure that you have 1.2. Use your pin to hold it in place. Check what you have. This is it. Then do the other side. The pleat is going to be here. This is the other marking. The pleat to be here. Place this hand here. Fold this in. Like this. Place this and fold this on the side in. See, you have extra here. Just fold that in also to have something like this. Pin it. Measure it. You see 1.5. Turn it to the other side to see what you have. See, you have done a pleat here. You have also done a pleat here. So once your pleat is in place, you go ahead and now sew, joining the waist together. You sew with your sewing allowance. So I'll sew and show you what we have. So we are sewing the peplum to the upper bodice. So if you have been following me from the beginning, you would have gotten here in your own sewing as well. So you see the pleats. Look at the pleats. This one is kissing pleat. Do you see that? The pleat is under that. This is the kissing pleat. And this is the one for the back. This is the kissing pleat for the back. You see that sleeveless peplum is ready, remaining the zipper. So you go ahead and fix your zip. Go ahead and fix your zip. I'm just pinning it and show you. So this is our finished look. You see that the pleat is on the dart line. So this is our sleeveless peplum. You see that? There's an armhole. So we've come to the end of this video. If you find this video helpful, please subscribe to my channel, like this video, share this video, and I hope to see you in my next class.